I love the life I've lived, mistakes and all, warts and all. It's like that Frank Sinatra song,
A life that's
Regrets.
full.
I have,
I did
Uh-huh.
my
regrets. I've had a few,
Sorry.
but then again, few to mention.
Yep.
Like,
Good. Hey, it's Jim Alexander with Real Talk. I got it. It's the
what's up,
opposite.
Jim?
I want a cool neon sign
I
like
know.
that.
I know.
That's awesome. The shift.
I'm
We
all
should-
decked out. I just put up the tree, so this is the first look at it that I'm getting even to see it. It's also
Man,
straight.
looks
It looks like it. Well, it's a pleasure to talk to you guys. I do want to share one little thing before. Kristoffer, this is intended to you. It was 2019 Movie Guide Awards, and I was a brand new rookie to doing red carpet interviews. And I remember you're one of my first interviews, and I just wanted to commend you how kind this guy actually is. I was there doing it. I was running the camera. I was doing the interviews. I was struggling all over the place. And Chris, you couldn't have been more gracious and nice and complimentary. It's something I really remember, never forgot, and held throughout the years. How encouraging you were to me, and how super nice and cool you were with the interview, because I was struggling. I was doing it all that day. But just wanted to let you know, and the people who ever watch this, you are the real deal. And thanks for being kind to a young journalist back then.
I appreciate you saying that. That is, you just spoke some life into me, and I look forward to the chance to hug your neck next time I see you.
There you go. It was really cool. So you guys picked a good one here for this film, because he's a class act for sure all around. But I'm going to start out with you, Neil. You know, this film raises so many questions on so many different things. It made me think too. I was thinking, and maybe your perspective too here. Is there a moment in your life that you kind of would want to do over, or that stands out to you, that, because I feel like this movie is a lot about reflection and do-overs, and potentially, is there any moment in your life that you kind of thought that, oh, I would have wanted to do that over if I could have gone back?
No.
No.
Well, that's quick.
Yeah. Wow.
I was asked the same question we talked about the other day with my kids. Yeah, actually, it's pretty funny that you asked that question.
Hmm?
Because I said, if I had made different choices in life, good or bad, I may not have you 5 kids. I may not have my wife, Reve. I may not be sitting here on this set talking about this amazing film that we just finished.
Yeah.
So all the things that when you trip over things in life, you got to learn from it. And as an athlete, I learned more from my losses than I did from my wins.
That's great.
So when you go out there and try things, good or bad, just go out and try different things in life, you learn. And if you have this faith in God that I have, that I know he has my back regardless, sometimes I forget about him. That's my fault. That's when I trip. When I don't forget about him, that's when I fly. But it's through the faults of life that I realize I need to fly more. And when I have someone like Reve, I always say I can get through life with one hand tied behind my back, as long as that hand is being held by my wife, Reve. We are a great team in life. And so all the things that have fallen, that have not worked for me in life, I learned from them. And those are actually the blessings that you have in life. So no, I wouldn't change a darn thing.
I love that. That's so true. It makes
Great.
me great. One move you make can impact your future so many years around, which is amazing in that way. And Chris, you meet your doppelganger in a sense in the film. I was wondering too, if you had a doppelganger out there, what version of him would you want it to be? Like,
Well, I wouldn't want him to be.
Cool?
Yeah, I mean the movie.
The fish tank.
Little pig goes to the market. I would not want to meet that doppelganger.
No.
I was a 15-year-old kid at a boarding school called Robert Louis Stevenson. I was in Pacific Grove in a bookstore, and I had this hour long. I sketched it out like, what if I made a choice, and then it led to this other reality, and this whole tree of possibilities, kind of like the Christmas tree you just put up behind you. The trunk is birth, and then all the decisions you make. Blah, 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 blah. And again, I mean, I mean, I have to mirror Neil's answer. I love the life I've lived, mistakes and all, warts and all. It's like that Frank Sinatra song.
My life is full.
I have regrets. I've had a few, but then again, few to mention.
Do you know who wrote that song?
Who?
I think it was it Paul Anka?
Yeah,
you're right. It was Paul Anka.
This isn't working for me. Hey, Frank, you want this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. What a gift.
Man. That's right.
Oh, Brock, I also thought about it. Like, you could have gone so many directions in this film, especially how it wraps up. Did you have any alternate kind of versions of endings, or is this how you always wanted to get to this point that we end up seeing? I'm always curious about, especially movies like that with so many, directions that you go with choices. And but was this your choice from the beginning to end this way? And did you foresee anything else for these characters after we see the screen go dark?
Yeah, it's a great question. I never write a story until I know what the ending is. And so this ending was always the ending of the film. Now, I'll tell you, there's been some pushback on it. It doesn't necessarily end the way people want it to end. That doesn't mean it has the wrong ending. And
I couldn't imagine another ending.
Yeah.
What if people had an opportunity to have multiple choices for endings?
I
become the good guy?
That would definitely go against the spirit. No, look, the film is saying a very specific thing, and really the spine of this thing is the Book of Job. It was very much inspired by the Book of Job, and once I hit upon that idea, the way that this story played out became very, very apparent to me, and the ending became very locked in place. And I think that ending, you change that ending in any way, and the entire meaning of the film. Well, I don't think it would mean a lot. I think you would rob the film of its meaning, and I think you would rob the audience of the experience that I believe that they need to have at the ending. Stories aren't always, well, they shouldn't ever, I think, be about giving people what they want. It's about giving the audience what they need, and I think this ending is an example of that.
Jim, I had an issue when I read the script with the ending, and I was like, I wish that it had ended in another way.
And I think I know which way you're thinking there too, because I think the natural reaction is going to be that way.
And I knew the Book of Job, and I said, but that's not how Job ends. Like, if you know Job, you know the ending,
right?
And there's a scene where Liz Tabish and I meet my Molly in the mall.
So good.
And there's this scene, and I say to her, is there a version of you who thinks? And in that one moment, the Kevin who knows, the Kevin who refuses, creates, and all of a sudden the ending makes sense. Your viewers, they're not going to know that. You got to go see The Shift in theaters right now, and then come back to this interview, and we can talk again in
we'll see on
a couple
Monday.
of weeks.
Yeah.
We'll talk again, because it really is. There are these tiny little seeds that are planted that if you watch it again and again, you're going to be like, 100% it makes sense. The only ending is the right ending.
And being such a humble guy that Brock is, I'll say this about the film. It's not a sci-fi film. Well, I mean, it's not just a sci-fi film. It's not just an action film. It's a love story, which is a great love story. But it's a love story between Kevin and his wife, but also a love story between Kevin and God, and how we all need to be better human beings to give glory to him. Those are messages in films like I go back to It's a Wonderful Life. These simple films, these simple ideas of films that are so complicated to get from the very beginning to the very end. But by the time you get there, you're so satisfied by the journey you just went on. And that's what happened tonight at the premiere. The whole audience, you can always hear people eating their popcorn, drinking their drinks, or sipping this. It was dead silent throughout the whole movie because people were just staring at the screen. I look at my 5 kids aging from age 9 to 17, and they weren't eating, they weren't drinking, they were watching and listening and taking it all in from Brock's writing and Brock's direction.
Yeah.
And because of that, we made a pretty awesome and important film. And this is the type of film, if you guys like these types of films, If you like It's a Wonderful Life, if you like Heaven Can Wait, if you like those types of films that have an upside to it at the very end, that you feel great about something at the end, because that's what Angel Studio was doing. If that's the kind of film you want to see, then we need to make more of them, right? Well, the only way to make more of them is to go out and support the films that are like that. And this weekend, The Shift comes out. So I implore you, please, go see the film in the cinema. Go buy tickets for you, for your family, for your friends. Convince others to go to it. And if you have the means, you can go on the website and you can buy tickets for families who can't afford to go to the movies. And isn't that the right thing that we should be doing to pay it forward? So let them go to see a film that has a great message, not the general dark ending Hollywood stuff that's been out there.
Sort of, the agenda we've gotten so used to. It's a great idea. I've got a group of fans in the Chicago area, and they're going to have a watch party the weekend of the 8th. So cool. It's this idea of get as many people together. Enjoy.
I'm in Chicago. That's where I'm at.
In the watch party, man. And it really is this, teach your kids how to watch a movie in the movie theater. And this isn't a perfect movie to do that. It's a perfect movie, like you were saying, to be able to have a conversation on the ride home where you're exploring the themes of the film and asking yourself as a person, well, what do I think? What do I believe? And that's the kid, like the character Gabriel, my character Kevin says, you got to believe in something. At some point, you're going to have to choose a side. And Bob Dylan has this great song, you got to serve somebody. It's either going to be the devil or it's going to be the Lord. And what you see is this incredible movie about the cost of choosing a side. And it's about being an adult in the world, making good decisions, and the effects of that kind of authority that you can take in life. It really is a beautiful message. This is not a superhero film. This isn't for kids. This isn't a waste of 2 hours of your life. These are morally courageous human beings who are doing their very best to do their very best work to tell a story that wants to make an impact in your life, literally to change the way you see the world. And it's a movie about relationships.
Yep. Well said. I mean, we're out of time, unfortunately. We can talk about this for hours, I feel like, because there's so much message. But yeah, and Neil even said it perfectly. In this time of holiday season, what better way than pass this movie along to someone else? But fantastic work, guys. I'm proud that you guys were part of something like this to send a message, to make you think. And I came away really thinking about my life and things I've done and the people in it, and it's thanks to this movie too. So thanks for putting out great stuff out there.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Jim. Thank you for that.
Very much.
You're awesome,
hope
Jim.
to talk to you guys again. Chris, awesome seeing you.
Harper, brother.
Take care, everyone.
Cubbies, go Cubbies.
There you go. Bye.